What is up, Roanoke?
What's going on, guys? Happy, it's our 29th episode.
Yeah, we forgot to make the mention, but a little over 6 months. Did anybody think we were going to be here 6 months ago?
I didn't think so.
I wasn't convinced. But thanks for tuning in.
And we'd be in the 30s if we didn't have internet problems and camera problems and COVID and all the other life's dramas.
Right.
So speaking of drama, how was your week this week?
It was okay. Yesterday was stressful. Yesterday was hard to stay sober. Jonathan, God love him, he's a slight hypochondriac. So if he's got the sniffles or a plugged up nose, he doesn't feel well and needs to do this or da 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 da. But he never actually gets sick. I don't know the last time I took this child to the doctor.
Huh.
He just doesn't get legit sick. I've watched him will himself into getting COVID. Huh. He ended up having to take 3 tests that night. But anyway, sorry. Long-winded. But last night, he was an overachiever. He had a slight fever that morning, gave him some Tylenol. He loves cheesy noodles. He wouldn't eat that. Long story short, he ended up with the flu and strep throat at the same time.
Good Lord.
Lost my vape yesterday, and that was stressful.
That was the Lord telling you that ain't good for you.
Exactly. Unfortunately for him, I always keep 2 backups.
Kind of like my coffee.
Again, other than yesterday, it was pretty good. We got to go to the Guns N' Hoses game on Saturday.
Okay.
That was a great game.
Good. We had a little bit of I had to work Saturday night at McAdoo's, and we had a little bit of a rush near the end, I think, with the Guns N' Hoses stuff. But we were so short-staffed. Right. We couldn't handle too much.
Right. Oh, we're getting McAdoo's.
Yeah, that's right. Good Lord. I think everybody's like that, though, now.
Anymore, yeah. I think that's just the new normal.
Can you hear us? Are we crackly or too low? And Miss Littlebit said, hi.
Hey, beautiful.
Got 3 of you on here. Why don't you guys say hi too?
Yeah. Peer pressure.
That's right. Some people just like to watch.
But how about your week in general? Anything new in freeze-dried world?
Man, everything's new. We rolled out our or we haven't started bagging it yet or done the labels, but we've come to a conclusion that we're trying to come up with something Dr. Pepperish or something for the Dr. Pepper Park. Right. So looking online at recipes and things like that, we found a Dr. Pepper peanut brittle.
Nice.
And I think I brought some in this week for you to try.
And it's amazing.
Yeah. And so,
baby, we may not make the mortgage.
But it doesn't have the Dr. Pepper taste. But it's made with Dr. Pepper. So, it's one of those things, but it is so yummy. So we decided we're going to go ahead and run with that.
Right.
And so this one has we're going to just call it the Texas brittle.
Okay.
Because I don't think we can use Dr. Pepper. I'll have to ask the Dr. Pepper Park because they have the park. So we're going to use the peanut brittle, and we'll have because that one has a little cayenne in it, so it has a little kick at the end. We'll do one without cayenne, so we'll have a spicy and non-spicy. And then I am not a Peeps fan.
Right.
Zero. I'm not a Peeps fan. They do make Dr. Pepper flavored Peeps.
Do they?
So yesterday I threw some in the freeze dryer. Amazing. No. They only take a few hours to.
Okay.
They get a lot. They get bigger, but they taste like Dr. Pepper freeze dried.
Oh, nice.
So I'm like, so that'll be one of our Dr. Pepper things.
There you go.
Little freeze dried.
Dr. Pepper bunnies.
Yeah. So other than that, our roof got finished last week, and everybody, knock on wood, has been healthy this week.
Good deal.
So trying to catch up on just life after having COVID for a week or two.
Yeah.
So Roanoke's really changed. Our top headlines today are 2 stories about cannabis.
Yep. On a good side.
Yeah, that's right. Well, one of them's kind of funny. The other one's
good. Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, I guess if you have 33 pounds of it, not as legal as you would think.
No.
They find that at the airport.
The police found 33 pounds of marijuana in 2 suitcases at the airport.
Gotcha.
It was an incoming flight, and so the suitcases looked suspicious. They called in the dogs. The dogs pointed at 2 suitcases and 33 pounds of marijuana.
Well, and see, I'm not saying there's anything going on, but how the hell's a suitcase look suspicious?
Yeah, I agree. There's a profile somewhere.
I mean, I've been wrong before.
Yeah, unless they have like John Doe on the tags or something like that,
Right.
I understand. But they haven't released any kind of names or person,
Of course they have.
Photos or anything like that.
Right.
But yeah, 33 pounds. Now, when I was shortly out of high school, I knew a guy. Not gonna say names. It wasn't.
He knew a guy.
It was not me. I don't think. I had some big old kahunas back then, but I don't think I had those big.
Right.
But he would go and he would take a Greyhound down to Florida for about a month.
Right.
And then he would take a Greyhound back to Roanoke from Florida.
Okay.
And he would come back with like 6 suitcases all full of marijuana.
Wow. Okay.
I'm like, wow, that's some big old,
Yeah.
I don't have that in me. But yeah, for Greyhound. But I guess really you wouldn't even think about that, would you?
Too
much.
And especially on a Greyhound.
Yeah. And this gentleman was young. He was probably 19 to 22, somewhere in there.
Right.
So
just trying to make a couple extra dollars.
Yeah. But yeah, you would take a Greyhound down. But in other news, this is kind of crazy. And Roanoke College is probably one of the last ones I would have thought that would have done this.
Yeah. I would have seen Radford or Virginia Western or somebody. Not comparing a university to a community college.
Right.
But those are the 2 names I would have expected on this.
So evidently Roanoke College is coming out with their own cannabis studies program.
Mm-hmm.
It's the first one of its kind in Virginia. So I guess there's other colleges around the country that have that already.
I'm sure.
But you can get your degree for cannabis studies at Roanoke College. So I wonder how that'll affect whether you're allowed to have that in the dorms now, or how all that works. So I don't know if that's so we'll have to see how that plays out.
Right.
And maybe that's why they were bringing in that 33 pounds to get Roanoke College jump started.
That's right. Somebody from Roanoke College is in there going, oh, no, that's ours.
I heard there was a party coming up.
We'd like to study that.
They're going to study it like a Cheech and Chong movie.
Right. So we've got a little incident, kind of related. Got 3 Nelson County students falling ill after eating freeze-dried Skittles. But I mean, that was definitely not a Big Daddy's Munchies purchase.
No. It was, they were middle school kids, so I guess they shared or whatever.
Right.
And they got sick. The state police have taken the Skittles, run them for drugs and things like that. No drugs in them. Because they had kind of thought maybe fentanyl or something like that. No drugs in the Skittles at all. So they probably just weren't, I don't know if they weren't processed right, or it just doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
Right. Because I've done 5 loads of Skittles today.
Right.
But I don't understand, how they were able to get sick. The only thing I can think of is you can get freeze-dried Skittles now at Target, and you can get it at 5 and Below and things like that. Look at the back of the bags, because right now, and I just got a wholesale offer from somebody that does freeze-dried goods. They're out of China. I can get the freeze-dried Skittles for half the price it cost me to make them.
Right.
And get them out of China. That's not what we do. So I think that those people out there that want the freeze-dried stuff, stop ordering online.
Right.
There's enough business out there. There's enough local people doing it.
Exactly.
To be able to find a local person.
Exactly.
Exactly. And if they tell you that they were able to get these Skittles ready in 15, 20 minutes, or, there's a guy out there teaching that you can go in and finagle the machine to where it'll pop the Skittles faster. They're not dry. Right. They're not processed properly, and so they're not holding up as well. So yeah, ask questions and reach out to me if you don't know.
Well, and here's what I will tell you in every aspect of my life from the time I was 17 to today. When you hurry up is when you screw up.
Yeah. And
there's going to be a mistake in it if you rush.
And you always get what you pay for. So if you got them Skittles because we have a 1 pound, 5 ounce jar of Skittles that we sell. Somebody's like, I can get that online for $8.
Do it.
Okay. Ours is $25. And that's what I told the guy. I was like, go ahead and do that.
Right.
But you get what you pay for. And it is what it's that. Go local. Exactly. Because if I give you something that's going to make you sick and we're both local, eventually we're going to run into each other at Kroger.
Right.
And it's going to be awkward if I made you sick and I wasn't doing things the way I was.
Or I know where I bought it from you at.
Yeah.
And I'm coming back going, dude, what the hell?
Yeah.
And we can address it there instead of, I got to find somebody at Tyson Foods.
Or I got it from some Chinese man across seas, that processed with his toes. So if you're going to buy, shop local. That's as big as it gets. This is a dumb one.
Back in the news.
Yeah, back in the news. Lock up your Tide Pods. There's still a big issue with children eating the Tide Pods. I don't think it's as many teenagers as far as the challenge like it was.
Right.
But parents are leaving out the Tide Pods and littler kids are eating them still because they look like something you could put in your mouth.
Right.
And I think overall kids are going to do that anyway.
Exactly.
I remember being told that when I was a kid, I drank bleach.
Right.
Right out the little jug.
Right. I used to eat mud pies on purpose.
Maybe that's why I'm so white.
Right.
Bleach. But yeah, lock up your Tide Pods.
Yeah. This is something that should be a little close to all of our hearts, but it's definitely close to Mary's heart. They are bringing Dolly Parton's Imagination Library to Salem. Did they say where?
The Salem Library.
Okay.
Yep, Salem Library. They're doing a kickoff this Saturday from 11 to 1.
Okay.
And I think you can sign up for the program or whatever then. But if you're unable to make it, if you go to the Salem Library website,
okay,
you can sign up there because basically they'll mail you books and it's to help kids build their own little libraries at home.
Nice.
And so, yeah, you can sign up either online or you can go to the library from 11 to 1 on Saturday.
Okay.
So, but they're excited about it. The Salem head librarian was tickled to death to be able to.
Oh, heck yeah.
To be able to bring that program.
How many million of books does she ship out for free every month?
I don't know.
It's like 10 million.
Yeah, she does a good job.
Yeah. It's just insane. And I think she started it because her daddy couldn't read.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. There is a CrossFit community effort trying to raise awareness for evidently somebody's targeting these CrossFit gyms and breaking into cars at the CrossFit gyms. It's weird to me, but evidently this is happening across Roanoke County, city, and over in Vinton.
Okay.
That somebody's breaking into his car. So just, the police are saying just go ahead and lock your stuff up in the trunk. Don't leave it out. I know that every time I go somewhere, I always try to hide my stuff that I think somebody might come in by and take.
Right.
So yeah, don't leave your stuff out to where people can see it, and just be aware of your surroundings. Several of the gyms have gone around. They're putting up outside cameras and making sure the lights are brighter. And I don't know if you've noticed, I always worried about Oak Grove because my daughter works at the McDonald's, and those lights have been. You can't hardly even see the parking lot.
Yeah, exactly. And if it rains, there are no lines.
Yeah, but they recently redid the lights up there.
Okay,
it's bright and good. You still can't see the lines, but it's super bright now.
Okay, well, good.
And they have that dollar. Have you been to the Dollar Tree there?
I have not. I pretty well stick to that McDonald's in Wildwood.
Yeah. Well, we have the Dollar Tree over near your house too.
Right. Yeah.
But it's nice, but it's kind of weird because it has like just a one single normal door.
right.
to get in and out. And I'm like, oh wow, okay. You think it would have had like some double doors or something, but no,
You would
just
think
the one door.
if you've got a cart, you should have a
Mhm.
double door.
Yeah, no, just
Yeah,
a single door.
Just something in my head,
Yeah.
anyway.
Oh, and heads up, if you shop there, they're going to charge you 5 cents a bag or whatever the city charges.
Yep,
They shouldn't have.
that should be part of the price of doing business.
Yeah, Roanoke County, and that's what I told Leigh. I said
Roanoke
Roanoke County
County
doesn't
doesn't do
charge
this.
for that.
Right.
So for you to call it a tax, you got to pay it to the county. So
right,
maybe county needs to hear they're calling that a bag tax,
exactly.
because that's what they're calling it. Hey, it's a bag tax. How many bags? 5.
Right.
And they charge me for it.
See if Sherman Lee is going to come clean on it since he's leaving anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And then this one's near and dear to your heart. You wanna talk
Without
about this one?
question, yeah. Got Mary that has a store on Whatnot, and she's got a live coming up Saturday at 7. This is the link to her particular shop. If you're looking for any artisanal jewelry, she does necklaces and wire wrap rings and all kinds of just really good wire work. She knocks out earrings quick and in a hurry.
Right.
If you need something, necklaces take a little longer. But I mean, she can do them to order. But I mean, she's got a shop. If you go there, see what she's got. See if you're interested.
Awesome. And Mary rarely ever misses a show of
I don't think she's ever missed one. I think she might miss 5 minutes here and there because she's got grandkids that live there.
So, but we were talking, Mary, you probably need to go ahead and get a .com.
Yeah, I may need to get a .com.
Yeah, call yourself whatever jewelry company or whatever brand she wants, whether it even just be her name. But
Right.
I think it's easier to hit that .com than to the letters and stuff.
Right.
So, but we got you.
That's right.
Maybe we'll have you on here soon, and
That's right.
she can showcase her jewelry.
Bring in some of your stuff. And I mean, we don't necessarily get a whole lot of y'all getting up here on live Thursdays at 8, but I think we usually average about 150 or so people watching over the course of the week.
Yep.
So I mean, come on out and somebody will come. Out of the 150, somebody we'll check it out.
She said the girls keep rating her in.
They do.
Yeah. I have 4 daughters. I can understand that.
Well, KK's always like, that would look great on my friend. Can I take that to school?
When I left the house today, Tika was making keychains for her and her BFF.
Okay. Yeah.
She's counting down the days. We have, as of yet, so we have 13 days until farm school.
Well, I was going to say, what, about 2 weeks?
Yeah, 13 days till farm school, and she's counting those days. I'm like, why don't you ask your little friend Ava to go wherever with you? Oh,
Right.
she's busy. Okay, then.
Okay, whatever.
But she's counting the days, and then I keep bringing up Brody because she's been working on doing her hair, and I was
Right.
like, oh, Brody's gonna really like that.
Not that Brody,
Stop.
Mary, don't worry.
She's like, stop, that's over. I'm like, okay, so why are you doing your hair?
Right. Right.
So, but yeah, the Amtrak, this is bad news. It's still coming, but Amtrak has decided to delay the New River Valley until 2028.
Right.
And they're doing a open house event on the 29th of January.
Okay.
To discuss their plans moving forward and what the timeline is for the Amtrak coming to New River Valley.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
my ultimate hopes is in the next few years or so, we're able to take that Amtrak from Roanoke south instead of having to go north and then
And
south.
then south. Yeah. Yeah, I
So,
agree with you.
That's our hopes on that one.
Yeah. Well, got the $50.3 million Wasena Bridge replacement project. Looks like they're finally going to start that in April.
Okay.
I guess they're
Have you seen some of the pictures?
one or two, but not many.
I'll show you here. And I know that we'll still be kind of in the background, but I just want to show you guys. So that's the bridge that goes across Wasena. It took me a minute to actually figure out where we were.
Right.
I was like, wait a minute, where are we at?
Right.
But yeah, this is where
But I know
old
that's the
transportation
park
used to be.
underneath.
Yep. And then right there, well, people can't see my mouse, but on the other side of those two little alcoves,
Those little bushes.
used to be the rocket used to be right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's underneath the bridge is their thoughts.
Okay.
And then this is the above part.
Okay.
And this is where that little
Putting in the
alcove area.
sidewalk.
Yeah. So I think it'll look really nice.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And then, right around the corner will be Big Dog, Black Dog Salvage.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So
what's going on, Mr. Gus?
How's it going?
You are on Facebook tonight.
Nice.
So yeah,
we'll take you how we can get you.
$50.3 million process the whole project.
Yeah, the project is estimated.
Mm-hmm. And then it'll start in April and hope it'll finish up by 2026
somewhere.
Yeah, because that's a big bridge to have to take out.
Well, and it probably takes enough traffic that you're not gonna be able to shut it down for so long at one time.
Right. You
can't pull a Colonial Parkway and go, nope, we'll see you in 2 years.
Right.
That's
right. Blacksburg mayor spoke over the last day or so. She has a lot of concerns with Virginia Tech growing.
Right.
Because Virginia Tech's growing so big.
Right.
Well, Blacksburg's kind of out of space.
Right.
And with them, every 100 students that Tech adds, that's another apartment building that they have to build to house them.
Right.
And so the problem is the residents that live in Blacksburg all the time, those residents that rent can't find anywhere. There's just not enough housing in that area for everybody.
Right.
And so her concern.
Yeah, they're going through a lot of that.
And she hasn't. There's no. I don't think there's any kind of answer to say, hey, this is our solution to all of it.
Right.
There's no solution to it, but there's a big concern.
And you got to get together.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a, hey, this is what's happening, so this is what we're doing. Deal with it. You're a college.
Right.
We pay for a fair bit of what's going on here.
Right.
And
then I think that the other concern was the transportation system there, the buses and things, because they're already, and especially at game days and stuff,
right,
they're already at full capacity.
Oh, without a
and so
doubt.
To add a bunch more students is going to really overstress somewhere where I don't know that they have even room to grow for more buses or more.
Yeah,
stuff,
because I forget if it was last year or the year before. Mary may remember. As much, the only reason I really dislike Virginia Tech is because I'm a Notre Dame fan.
Right.
That's really the only reason. But I will say we went to the battle in Bristol, and the student fans, not necessarily the alumni, but the tickets we got for that, and the student section. Those have got to be the rudest fans
Or are they?
I've ever come across. Yeah, but it was actually cool. Because the first quarter of that game, it really sucked to be us. We were all in Tennessee stuff because Mary's from Tennessee.
Right.
Mary went to ETSU. Deep roots in Tennessee for her, and I wasn't going to pull for Tech, so I'll put Tennessee stuff on. Yeah, that first quarter sucked, but after the first quarter, that was one of the quieter sections.
That's right. It does get quiet when your team starts losing.
Go?
That's right.
But so that big long-winded veer off to get to this. We took the kids with us to Hobby Lobby. We went to Christiansburg, and you're that close to Lane Stadium. Jonathan is a huge Virginia Tech fan. Why, I have no idea.
Right.
But he's a big Tech fan. So, let's go check out Lane Stadium then. Let's go drive through the campus a little bit. We're this close. I made you get in the car for an hour and a half.
Right.
And dragging you around a hobby store. We can take a detour to Virginia Tech. I'll work with you. Even then it was tight.
Right.
I accidentally found the stadium. I thought I was in a neighborhood.
Yeah, and you pop right in there on the campus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all in the middle of everything. Gus is asking, I think Gus is asking about the bridge that we had talked about. It is Wasena Bridge.
Yeah.
Where where it goes across where the old transportation museum used to be here in Roanoke. Before the flood of 85. 85 kind of wiped that part out.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, it was all underwater there.
Right.
So, yeah, see, I'm a Tech fan because I was a ball boy for Tech.
Okay.
And so when I was in middle school, and then I think one year of my ninth grade year, I was ball boy for the football team, and then I also did the basketball games where, I used the little broom to
wipe up the sweat.
Yeah. and so that's why I'm a Tech fan. I mean, all of mine are like, when I was a kid, I got a Roger Staubach football. That was my first football. I'm a Cowboys fan.
Right.
Got a Reggie Jackson ball glove. I'm a Yankees fan. And so I think that just kind of stuck with me. And I know, Cowboys will probably never go to the Super Bowl again.
Not as long as Dak's there. He can get you to the playoffs almost every year.
Well, same way with Romo.
He can't get you to round two.
Yeah. It's all of those, since they haven't done anything since the early 90s, but it is.
Well, I think we made the playoffs in 2000. Outside of that, we haven't done anything since the 70s.
So what are your thoughts on them saying that part of these games are rigged now because of have you seen the conspiracy on that?
Oh yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I too much weird stuff happens for me to go, nah. But I also find it hard to believe you have personalities in there. Just because he took it to a different level doesn't mean there aren't the same type of attitudes in there. You got people like Antonio Brown and Ocho Cinco.
Right.
I find it hard to believe that all of them are keeping quiet.
Or throwing a game.
I think Josh Allen would have been the first one on TV this past weekend talking about how it was rigged and that's how it was scripted. I truly believe that. How about you?
But, you know what? I don't believe anything anymore. Even if I see it with my own eyes, sometimes I'm like, I don't even know if that was real.
Right.
I mean, that's how bad it's. I mean, it's everything. I mean, we talked about this at the bar Saturday night, and I think we even talked about it again on Monday. AI has gotten so good that I could take your picture and I could upload your voice. All I got to do is get you to call me one time.
Yeah.
I can record that, upload your voice, and I can create a whole person.
And then you just type in.
Yep, I type in what I want you to say.
Yep.
And you look and say, and they actually give you the movements, the eye blinks, and nobody would know that wasn't you.
Exactly.
Besides you.
Exactly.
Be like a Scooby-Doo episode.
and sometimes it's good enough. You're like, did I drink last night?
Yeah. And so I don't know what to believe in. I mean, it's crazy.
We've officially gotten to sci-fi from our childhood.
Yeah. But if you look at I think it was 1968 or 69, where that dude spoke about how you break a country. Mm-hmm. That's where it was. You have them to where they can't believe what they see anymore, and that's I guess that's where we're going. But we're gonna move on.
That's right.
The development plans for Riverdale over there at those the big industrial park.
Right.
They're moving forward. I think their goal, and I think it's a big old long goal, but their goal is to be finished with that big project because it's like 26 acres.
Right.
To be finished with that project by like 2040. But their initial thing is, didn't put it on here. Hold on, let me look at my little notes here because it was a bunch of things. Their big plan was 85 unit adaptive reuse project. So I think it would be used for residential or business, and then 260 unit apartment complex to start out.
Gotcha.
So they're just trying to make it into its own little area. I guess kind of like Grandin area, but my only concern is that's in that area.
Virginia Tech can put in a transit. We have room for 260 new students.
That's right. Well, they got the smart bus that goes back and forth.
Yeah.
I don't know that it'd be big enough to take all the students, but
Right.
they could add on. My only concern in that area is that part of Southeast over in Riverdale, it's a big floodplain.
Right.
I know that the Army Corps of Engineers done a lot of work on the riverbanks and stuff over there, but it's still, I think a lot of people still.
I think USDA still has it as a
flood area.
flood.
So that would be my concern, I think, for people moving in over there and end up being like, I know it's called something else now, but Riverwalk, or it used to be called, I don't even know. It's right there in Salem as you go into Salem near Louis Gale. Willow River was its name before.
Okay.
That their lower apartments by the river always flood, and I think
Yeah.
the USDA or the housing
River's Edge.
the housing authority came in and said, hey, you can't rent these bottom apartments out anymore.
Oh wow.
Because I know it's got one of our regulars, Elvis, was flooded out over there.
Gotcha. Well, speaking of back in the news, this story isn't quite as old as the Tide Pods, but the Natural Bridge Zoo has put forth and has filed an appeal on their case, but in the meantime, the animals are staying at the sanctuaries.
Okay.
Hopefully
Hopefully it gets to the bottom of whether it was they did wrong or right or whatever.
Right.
And
Right.
the animals are taken care of.
I mean, let's just get it taken care of. That way, whoever, if they didn't do anything wrong and it was a misunderstanding, let's get the zoo back open. If they were doing something wrong, let's get some new owners, because that's a draw for Natural Bridge.
It is.
Natural Bridge is awesome. I love the museum there. I love walking down there. But I think the zoo is your money maker.
I think so too. That's what brings, because those signs are everywhere.
Yeah.
Up and down 81, 220, they're Natural Bridge zoos.
Right.
The zoo signs everywhere.
And so to keep Natural Bridge pure, for lack of a better phrase, let's get the zoo back. Let's get some money in there. Let's
make it right.
Yeah.
Or move those animals up to Mill Mountain Zoo.
Exactly.
We'll take them.
That's right.
I don't know that a giraffe will be okay up there. But
It will be in the summer.
Yeah, wintertime, we got to have something else.
Right.
Virginia Western receiving a historical marker.
Yeah.
The oldest community college in Virginia.
Yeah.
That surprises me.
I forgot to look at the year when I was reading that.
That surprises me because I would have thought somewhere down towards the Tidewater area, like Jamestown, Williamsburg,
right,
would have been one of the first community colleges.
Well, but over there, I think they had a lot of colleges / universities there. I mean, down that area, you got more ODU, Old Dominion, and the community colleges kind of came much later
than the universities. Yeah, that is true. That's
because here you got Tech, and I mean, UVA is close-ish.
Right.
In Radford, but I mean, out there you got ODU, you got Christopher Newport, got the Christian one out there, Pat Robertson.
Yeah.
I can't come up with the name. Bad Tidewater resident. I can't come up with it to save my life. But I mean, 7 miles, you got like 4 universities.
Absolutely.
So.
But yeah, that just surprised me because you have it here. I mean, within an hour, you've got Virginia Western, Radford. I mean, you've got Radford Tech. Yeah. And then you have Hollins, Roanoke College.
Yeah.
Liberty.
Elon and Henry.
Emory and Henry.
Emory and Henry.
Yeah. So who knows? But yeah, that's a great honor.
It is.
And then back to AI again.
I was going to say, back in the news.
Right.
Speaking of AI, Glenn Youngkin did sign a executive order on the 18th, kind of setting some guidelines and some rules about AI. And, AI is not allowed to gather certain private information, and it's not allowed to it's not allowed to be a danger.
Right.
I wasn't able to find the actual order.
Right.
So I'm just kind of reading what the newspaper put
Mhm.
out there. And so it's not allowed to be a danger.
Gus
Uh,
said we forgot Ferrum. Yeah, it's true.
We did forget Ferrum. It's just the other day. It's just the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so the AI thing, it's so silly because everybody else gets our information.
Exactly.
You know, how many times do we see in the news? And not that I want anybody to have my information,
Right.
but everybody else. I mean, how many times in the news do we see that Wells Fargo, that other banks,
Yeah.
hell, even our healthcare systems have leaked information, our information out to people.
Yeah. I mean, didn't Facebook have a leak?
Yep. So
Yeah.
I just, for AI, and I heard somebody talk about it, and they were like, you know, it keeps people from trying to start some kind of fake thing with you. But
Right.
that person would put that information, if they're trying to create some, AI is not getting your information. That person's getting your information and putting it into AI.
Exactly.
So yeah, I mean, I think AI could evolve, and it has evolved big time since, hell, 6 months ago. It's evolved.
Yeah, it's totally different than it was.
But everybody else has our information.
Right. Well, and I'm just a big believer, not necessarily fan, but I'm a big believer that if it gets something you didn't want it to get, more often than not, that's on you.
Yeah, you put something out there. You shouldn't put it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we'll see where this AI thing goes. I know that they're talking about trying to do away with social media. Was it the UN?
Yes.
This week that talked about that?
Yeah.
UN talked about social media being a danger to humanity and not controllable. So we'll see over the next year if governments come out and say, for your safety, you can't do this.
Well, and that verbiage I don't necessarily disagree with. I bet I disagree with them on what the danger is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, hell, 15 years ago, you know, your car's owner's manual would tell you how to properly take care of stuff. Now it tells you don't drink the battery acid.
Yeah.
You know, just because you have access to more information hasn't made us smarter.
Right.
You know,
and unfortunately, you have to check the information you're looking at too.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. That being said, the acid in your battery is not digestible.
That's right. Don't be drinking it out of the back. And if you do, you got what you deserve.
Right.
But so we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
There was an incident at Status Restaurant. 3 people were injured on Sunday morning about 1:30.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
One of those after 12.
Yeah. One of those late Saturday night dealings. Apparently, the altercation started inside the Status Restaurant. I'm not exactly sure where that is, but the area looked familiar. They said it was downtown. Almost looked like over by 202, but I'm not sure. That being said, 2 of them were very minor injuries. They were actually taken to the hospital in a private car. There wasn't even a
Oh wow
vehicle involved, but the cops did make it there to question them. When I saw the story, they hadn't released any names because I'd love to release those names.
And some of those I just skip because they don't. But then we're getting rid of a lot of the bad news because they're still investigating. So put them in there. And speaking of that, high-speed chase in Northwest. Saturday night, early Sunday morning. Ended up crashing, and the car was engulfed in flames.
Yep. It was I forget what they said started the altercation, but he just hopped in his car and headed on out. And it was a high-speed chase, and it was engulfed in flames. And I was actually reading that as it was going on. But what I love, we need to get rid of at least a quarter of the attorneys in this country, no less than a quarter, because the guy that they pulled from the fiery car, is still the suspect.
Okay. As he should be if he's the one driving.
No, he should be the perpetrator.
Yeah.
He's not. I'm not suspecting this. I saw this with my eyes.
Hopefully he didn't get hurt as they were pulling him out, because then he's going to try to sue.
Well,
pulling him out.
He was taken to the local hospital for injuries.
Start my own little country.
If I can get enough money, I am.
That's so funny. As Selena came home today, we usually, if I get to see her at all, because typically Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturdays are her big work days,
right?
For her hair, for her salon, and so typically on Thursdays we're either passing each other, or I don't get to see her until I get home after the podcast. But today she got home and she's always said, "You know what? We'll have to win a lot of money. We take just a little bit. I'm not going to be greedy. We just take just a little bit, pay off her house, maybe get a second house, and live comfortably." Today she came home and she goes, "Be greedy. I want all the money. I want to win the big lottery." she said, and then we just go disappear like we were never here. And I said, "I'm sure for a good 50 grand or 100 grand, some little hacker could make us disappear."
That's right.
It'd be like the dude sliding back into the bushes. Into the bushes. You're like, woo. Like, wasn't there a guy named Roanoke? Oh, no,
Rob, what?
Get one of them little flashy things from Men in Black.
That's right.
You never knew Rob and Selena. You want to go with us? JR and Mary.
Yeah, JR and Mary are on that train. So we had the resignation of Michael Clark from the Roanoke Park, not a association. I forget the term. The
Parks and
board.
Recreation.
Yeah,
he was the head person there.
But he was the head guy there for about 16 years, and he put in his resignation Monday or Tuesday, and he was citing passive aggressive culture and intentional slight. Now, they did not go in depth as to what they were slighting or anything like that, but basically the work environment
was
the
toxic.
culture.
Yeah.
Y'all aren't letting me do my stuff.
Yeah. So you're either, this world's gone crazy.
It really has.
Too many people get their feelings hurt too many times.
Right.
And then they're just mean ass people out there too, though.
And I mean, the way we were raised, I feel very confident you were raised the exact same way. I have no problem at all with everybody getting their feelings hurt. They can be sensitive. They can get their feelings hurt every day. I'm not hoping you do, but you're allowed to have your feelings hurt. Yep. Get over it. Suck it up. Doesn't mean I have to listen to why you're upset.
Right.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. But that was a toxic environment. We weren't there to know what went on either.
Right.
Roanoke City school buildings are planning to go solar.
Yeah.
And they're in negotiations now with trying to work out
to make that happen. Yeah, with all the
like
Roanoke City buildings, and Roanoke County is looking into it, but they haven't committed. And Roanoke City was the first in the area.
Okay.
To commit
to it. How far that goes.
Yep. And Angels of Assisi, which is a great organization in my personal opinion, saved 35 dogs. I think it was Marion County. Mm-hmm. They're right inside of West Virginia. They went out there and saved 35 dogs from the freezing temps. They didn't say if it was a different, organization that they saved them from, or if they had gotten calls about, all these dogs at a particular property, or just what.
So they are looking for some donations for food too, though, right?
Yeah.
Probably maybe even foster care with that many dogs.
Right. Yeah, I think it was 15 dogs and 16 puppies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of animals. If it was one place, that's one of them puppy mill places.
Probably. Yeah. They probably needed to be shut down, but I will keep my opinion to myself.
That's right. The people, not the dogs.
That's right. That's right.
So the Patrick Henry girls basketball team, their season is, they have a motto. It's Potter Strong.
Okay.
And so their assistant coach, his wife, is going through her second bout of leukemia. And so their season is dedicated to her and hoping that she is able to beat this the second time.
Heck yeah.
So that's a wonderful local story.
Oh, without a doubt. Not such a heartwarming story. Read about this one Tuesday morning, so I'm guessing it happened Monday night. Had a Martinsville juvenile. They did not release an age.
Because he was juvenile.
Right. Apparently got in a argument, altercation, or what have you with his mama. Took the car and in his haste ran straight head on. I mean, just head on with a responding police car. You know, that was.
He'll never live that down.
No.
Even if he's an adult and he gets his life back together, you know, he's straight and narrow. He'll never live that part down.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what age he is, but I feel very confident. If that had been me, I just go, yeah, no, I need y'all to lock me up. I ain't going back to school.
That's right.
Don't make me stab somebody in juvie, because I need to stay here.
That's right. Shifting over to the job market, everybody's hiring still. But there's some companies, Loomis, Carillion.
Always.
Yep, always for everything. There's also in one of the job search things, there was traveling nurses.
Okay.
That people are looking for. The Park Service, Postal Service, and then Lamar Billboards looking for somebody to help install the billboards.
Okay.
So U.S. Park Service is looking for park rangers.
Okay.
So I guess
can I bring my fishing pole?
Probably, because that's what they were doing instead of fixing that hole for 2 years. So I used to want to be a park ranger, but then and then church changed. But you know, back in the early '90s, they only made like $26,000 a year.
Right. You
had to be a police officer first before you could become a park ranger. That was a whole big. And I'm like, for $26,000?
Right.
Yeah.
I think that seems like a bad investment.
Yeah. So look at me now.
Went to school with a guy that became a park ranger, and I love Brian to death. One of the greatest people I knew in high school. That being said, how they hired that boy to be a park ranger, I have no idea. They should have known that he was writing nobody up. Brian, God, it'll come to me later. But yeah, I mean, why they would even hire him? You know,
right.
I'm sure the only issues he had was, hi man, you know you're over, you caught over your what's the word?
A limit.
Yeah, you caught over the limit, so I'm gonna need to split this with you. I brought my cooler.
So when we were little, you pulled over for being out and drinking.
Yeah.
You had good beer, it went in the trunk of the police officer's car. If you had craft beer, if you had dust, you had to pour it out in the grass.
Yep.
We didn't talk about this, but I'm going to jump on here and talk about it now. Southern Living magazine named some of the top Roanoke restaurants.
Oh wow! Okay,
I had put it in here, but I don't see it. But anyway, I even have the little list up here.
Right.
Bloom Restaurant was the So Bloom Restaurant was one of the first ones that they talked about. Let me find my notes. Good Lord.
Lucky's R&D. Now I've heard Scratch Biscuit Company is amazing. I've not been there.
Yeah, Fruits and Roots, Sidecar, Stock Cafe, the Green Goat River and Rail, and the Viet Sub.
Okay.
Are the ones that and they talked in that article. They talked about how Roanoke has really changed. Like they have a lot of newer cuisines and a lot of different types of foods now. And they were just talking about how great that was. And these are some of the top restaurants. And I've eaten it at a lot of those, and they're wonderful.
A couple of them. I keep meaning to go to the Green Goat, but with everything else going on, Marion, I just don't get down that area, down in Wasena area that much.
It's so hard to find time for stuff anyway.
You know.
I mean,
Now, have you ever been to River and Rail?
I have not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it just, when I've seen the menu and the website, I'd love to, but I don't know that I want to commit that kind of money to eat across from the hospital.
Right.
Yeah. But I mean, if it's good enough, I mean, I've eaten Frank's.
Yep.
When they were still open.
Yeah, it could be good. I don't know. I haven't eaten there.
So I take that back. That was Famous Anthony's that was over by the hospital.
Yes, it was. Yep. Yep, it was Famous Anthony's. Not a lot going on. I mean, it's wintertime in January, but a little bit going on this weekend.
Right. I got the Rail Yard Dogs playing twice, Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
I think tomorrow night is TV night or game show night or something. I think Saturday is Looney Tunes night.
I know Saturday, Looney Tunes.
So.
And then you got the downtown Roanoke restaurant week that ends this weekend. Not that you should stop supporting local restaurants, but the promotion of them pushing you to go to local restaurants downtown ends this weekend.
Right. Still got Elmwood on ice.
This is the last weekend for that.
Oh, is it? I did not know that.
Last weekend for that.
No, last weekend you could have done it in your front yard.
No, and it's so weird how you go from in Virginia. In a week's time, hell, even sometimes in a day's time, you go through those 4 seasons.
Oh yeah.
And so last week we had snow and all this other, and then today it was quite mild.
Well, I think it was Saturday. My pipes froze on me, or Sunday. Pipes froze on me. Thursday, I was like, holy Jesus. I'm in short sleeves out on the front porch, and it's just like, all right, somebody needs to check Mother Nature's meds.
Right. When I came tonight, I was like, okay, it's kind of warm enough not to have a jacket, but maybe I should take a jacket. Right. So, you got planned for this week?
Well, Mary's work is doing their company get together at the Dogs game tomorrow night.
Okay.
So we get to go to that if the boy's feeling okay. But he started his meds last night, so he should be
back on the mend.
Yeah, he should be good, but maybe not full 24 hours without a fever.
Right.
Come the game, so we'll play that by ear, and then I'm working concessions for the Saturday night Dogs game.
So go out and buy popcorn from JR.
That's right.
Say the Peaks and Valleys podcast sent you a gift to you for free.
I agree.
Not really. See JR getting locked up for 3 people asking for popcorn. Mary being one of them. Right. Hey, I heard if I say Peaks and Valleys, I get free popcorn. So.
But I think that's about what we got.
Awesome. I don't think we have anything. I got to do bags and labels. Labels, everything's getting submitted to the state this weekend. So hopefully within a month or so, we'll have our commercial license.
Good deal.
So, Good deal. Other than that, Candy, and I've got rental. She says she's not going.
she's gonna have the other kids.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, she may. I don't know if they'll be with their parents.
You should go just because of the free popcorn there.
it's worth the $7 admission for free popcorn.
Tegan would come just for the popcorn.
Right.
She's a popcorn fanatic.
Right.
But
any movies coming out?
I don't have a clue. We don't have local TV.
I'm not trying to peer pressure, but I kind of miss Tegan's popcorn perspective.
Maybe we'll start seeing if they have some movies coming out. I know Disney fired one of their directors or whoever.
Oh, did they?
They felt was a little too far to whatever side they don't want to be on.
Right.
And so they let that person go. But no, I'll have to look. We talked about it a couple weeks ago, and she stopped because of the whole strike and all that. But yeah, maybe we'll pick that back up. She enjoyed doing it.
Good deal.
So, and then she got 13 days till farm school.
That's right.
So I'm counting those days too. That's the only Wednesday I get back.
Right.
I don't even know. Oh, the first Wednesday she goes, and you can ride up with me if you want, is one of our regulars at McAdoo's. He owns 2 Mexican restaurants at the lake. And so they just opened their second restaurant. And it's at the Hell's Bridge, the little strip mall where Moosey's and all that is.
Okay.
They have their second location there.
Oh, okay.
So I told him that
So
first.
it's not the Mexico Viejo that.
I don't think so,
Okay.
but he'll be at the new one.
The tequila bar.
Yeah, and I told him that the first Wednesday because he's off Mondays, Tuesdays, and then he works the rest of the time. And so I told him that first Wednesday that Tegan was back in farm school and come see him.
Right. We're coming from Margaritas, 9:30 a.m.
That's right. We're going to be there. I'm going to get that super jumbo.
That's right. The one I could swim in afterwards.
I'm going to have to send an Uber to go get Tegan.
I heard about that one coming.
Oh, the one at the lake?
Apparently.
Okay. Cool. Hopefully it's good news. But he's a super nice guy. He lives here in the Cave Spring area.
Okay.
And his name's Noel. But
okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think that's it. You have anything else?
Not that I can come up with off the top of my head.
All right. Well, until next week, and we'll definitely be here next week. You guys have a safe week.
Make good decisions.